Stop taking medicinal laxatives if you can. Laxatives can be habit-forming and can also weaken the bowels, potentially leading to chronic constipation. Instead, use dietary changes and herbal supplements to stimulate your bowels if you need to. 13. While COVID-19 is a respiratory infection, it doesn't cause as many symptoms as infections like the common cold or the flu. Coughing is a common symptom, which may or may not bring up phlegm. Call your doctor if you have a cough and think you might have COVID-19. 1. You're more likely to have COVID-19 if there is community spread in your area, you've come into contact with someone who may be infected, or you've recently traveled somewhere with high rates of community transmission. If you're coughing, cover your mouth with a tissue or your sleeve so others won't get infected. You may also wear a surgical mask to trap droplets that might infect others. While you're sick, stay away from people who are in high-risk groups for infection and complications, such as people who are 65 and older, babies, children, pregnant women, and people who are taking medication to suppress their immune system. COVID-19 typically causes a fever. Use a thermometer to check your temperature to see if it's 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, 38.0 degrees Celsius, or higher, which means you have a fever. If you develop a fever, be sure to call your doctor before you go to any healthcare facility. 2. Stay home aside from getting medical care. 3. When you have a fever, you're likely contagious with whatever illness you have. Protect others by staying home. Keep in mind that a fever is a symptom of a lot of illnesses, so it doesn't necessarily mean you have COVID-19. Since breathing issues are always a serious symptom, visit your doctor, an urgent care center, or the emergency room immediately to get the treatment you need. You may have a serious illness, whether or not it's COVID-19. Shortness of breath is also a common, less severe symptom that you should tell your doctor about. 4. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), this strain of coronavirus can lead to serious complications, such as pneumonia. Contact your doctor immediately if you're having any breathing issues just to be safe. 5. Warning: people with weakened immune systems or pre-existing medical conditions, such as cancer, heart disease, or diabetes, are especially vulnerable to potentially deadly COVID-19 infections. 6. Babies and elderly people are also at risk of developing complications, such as bronchitis or pneumonia. 7. If you or someone you care for are at risk, take special care to avoid exposure to infected people or animals. As of March 2020, the CDC and WHO both report that the common symptoms of COVID-19 include cough, fever, and shortness of breath. Other respiratory symptoms such as a sore throat, runny nose, headache, or body aches may mean you have a more common respiratory infection, such as the common cold or the flu. Call your doctor to see if your symptoms may be caused by COVID-19. 8. It's understandable that you'd be worried, but try to remember that it's unlikely that you have COVID-19 if you don't have fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Tip: if you're young and in good health, you may have very mild COVID-19 symptoms. If you've recently traveled or were exposed to someone who has COVID-19, call your doctor if you have respiratory symptoms to find out if you need to get tested. In the meantime, stay home so you won't infect others.